The following report examines 6 shots played during the Masters tournament at Augusta National. Each was hit under direct championship pressure from a difficult position, and each shaped the outcome of the tournament in which it occurred. The 2005 Masters reached its final round, with Tiger Woods leading Chris DiMarco by 1 shot. On the par 3 16th, Woods pulled his 8-iron tee shot long and left of the green. His caddy Steve Williams later said they were trying to escape with a bogey. DiMarco was already on the green, 15 feet from the cup, with a putt for birdie. The chip had to be played away from the hole, up the slope, with gravity returning the ball toward the cup. On the CBS broadcast, Lanny Wadkins said it was unlikely Woods could leave the ball inside DiMarco's mark. The ball climbed the bank, reversed, and tracked down toward the hole. It stopped on the lip, with the Nike logo facing the camera, for close to 2 seconds before dropping. Verne Lundquist's call,
"In your life have you seen anything like that?"
became one of the most replayed in golf broadcasting. Woods bogeyed both 17 and 18, was forced into a playoff, and still won his 4th green jacket. His father Earl, gravely ill, was watching from the family's rented Augusta house and died the following year. Jim Nantz called the shot maybe the greatest shot in the history of the game. In the final round of the 2010 Masters, Phil Mickelson pulled his drive on the par 5 13th into the pine straw. He held the solo lead. The pin was 206 yards away, across Rays Creek, with 2 pine trees standing in his line. The gap between them was roughly the width of a sleeve of golf balls. His caddy Jim Mackay walked back and asked whether the situation called for a more conservative play. Mickelson's reply, as Mackay later recounted, was, "If I'm going to win this tournament, I'm going to have to hit a really good shot under a lot of pressure at some point. I'm going to do it right now." He hit a 6-iron through the gap. The ball cleared the creek, landed on the green, and stopped 4 feet past the hole. He missed the eagle putt, tapped in for birdie, and went on to win by 3 strokes. Mickelson's wife, Amy, was 11 months into treatment for breast cancer, and his mother had been diagnosed with the same disease weeks after Amy. When Mickelson finished on the 18th green, he and Amy embraced behind the green, both in tears. Mickelson said afterward, "I don't normally shed tears over wins." Before the 1986 Masters, an Atlanta columnist had written that Jack Nicklaus was finished, that, at 46, no one that old wins the tournament. A family friend taped the article to the refrigerator of the house the Nicklaus family had rented for the week. In the final round, with his son Jackie carrying the bag, Nicklaus played his first 8 holes in even par. He birdied the 9th, then the 10th and 11th, bogeyed the 12th, and birdied the 13th. The closing sequence then settled the tournament. On the 15th, his approach finished 12 feet from the hole, and he made the eagle putt. On the 16th, his tee shot stopped 3 feet from the cup. On the 17th, from 18 feet, he holed a left-breaking putt that took the outright lead. Verne Lundquist's call was,
"Maybe." "Yes, sir!"
He 2-putted the 18th for par to post a final round 65, including a back 9 of 30. Greg Norman, needing par to force a playoff, missed the green to the right with his approach and made bogey. Tom Kite, who tied for second with Norman, said afterward, "I didn't lose this tournament. Jack won it. It was Nicklaus's 6th green jacket and his 18th and final major. At 46, he became the oldest Masters champion in the tournament's history." Rory McIlroy entered the final round of the 2025 Masters with a 2-shot lead and an 11-year wait for his next major championship. He double bogeyed the first hole, then built the lead back to 4 shots. On the par 5 13th, he laid up, then hit his wedge into the tributary of Rays Creek for a double bogey. He bogeyed the 14th and lost the outright lead. On the 15th, his drive carried 332 yards into the pine straw down the left side, blocked by trees. From 209 yards, he hit a 7-iron with around 50 yards of draw, around the trees and onto the green, 6 feet from the hole. He 2-putted for birdie and retook a share of the lead. On the 18th in regulation, his approach found a greenside bunker, and he missed a 5-foot par putt, dropping into a playoff with Justin Rose. Back on the 18th tee, He drove 314 yards and hit a gap wedge from 125 yards to 3 feet. He made the birdie putt, dropped to his knees, and wept. McIlroy became the 6th player to complete the career Grand Slam and the first European to do so. 14 years earlier, at 21, he had blown a 4-shot Sunday lead at the same tournament. Tiger Woods posted on social media, "Welcome to the club." At the 2012 Masters, Bubba Watson reached the second hole of a sudden death playoff against Oosthuizen. On the par 4 10th, Watson pulled his tee shot into the trees right of the fairway. He was 164 yards from the hole, with his ball sitting up in pine straw. His caddy, Ted Scott, later described the lie as a bird's nest. On the CBS broadcast, Nick Faldo, asked if Watson could put the ball close, replied, "I doubt it, to be honest." Watson hooded the face of a 52-degree gap wedge, closed his stance, aimed well left of the green, and swung at full speed. The ball curved approximately 40 yards through the air, cleared the trees, and stopped between 10 and 15 feet from the hole. Oosthuizen missed his par putt. Watson two-putted for the win, his first major championship. He collapsed against Scott on the green, then walked to his mother and held her, in tears. 11 days earlier, he and his wife Angie had adopted their son Caleb, who could not yet leave Florida due to interstate adoption rules. Watson's father Jerry had died of cancer 18 months before. Larry Mize, born and raised in Augusta, had worked the manual scoreboard at Augusta National as a teenager. In 1987, he entered a 3-man Masters playoff with Greg Norman, then the world's top-ranked player, and Seve Ballesteros, a 2-time Masters champion. Ballesteros was eliminated on the first playoff hole. Mize and Norman moved to the 11th. Mize played his approach intentionally right of the green to avoid the pond on the left. The ball came to rest 140 feet from the hole. Norman's approach landed on the right edge of the green, leaving him a 50-foot birdie putt. The expectation was that par would win, and Norman held the better look. Mize used a sand wedge to play a low chip and run. The ball rolled across the green, broke toward the hole, struck the flagstick, and dropped. Norman's birdie putt missed. Mize became the only Augusta-born winner of the Masters in the tournament's history. The wedge he used is on display in the Augusta National Clubhouse. At the trophy ceremony, with Jack Nicklaus presenting the green jacket as the previous year's champion, Mize said, "I'm just about speechless. Y'all don't know how unbelievable this is." These 6 shots remain among the most replayed in the broadcast history of the Masters tournament. Each was hit under direct championship pressure, and each shaped the outcome of the tournament in which it was played.